Have you ever noticed that things that we blindly repeat from our childhood stick with us, buried in our subconscious mind, and have an impact on us until we discern that, oh my God, I don't want that in my life anymore? What came to me this morning was a statement that just really popped me on the side of the head, and it was, curiosity killed the cat. Then it goes, obviously, satisfaction brought it back. But the first thing that's said is curiosity killed the cat. And think about that. As we age, what happens to our curiosity? Are we as curious as we were before? See, curiosity opens our mind to worlds we've yet to imagine, let alone experience. Curiosity is the gateway to a more expansive life. Until you're curious, can you even imagine? Which comes first? Curiosity or imagination? That's a pretty good question. I think curiosity comes first. And from curiosity, we're able to imagine. But if we're not curious about things, there's no imagination. The people who have made big leaps and done great things were curious. They asked questions. You see, from curiosity come questions. And then the quality of those questions lead to a quality life. Now, not every one of us is going to be curious about the same thing. Let's just be really clear about that right from the start. We're all unique. Can we just accept the fact that we're all unique? And in that uniqueness, we're going to be curious about different things. I know Richard, he's more curious about things that I'm not curious about at all. And I'm more curious about things that he's not curious about. That's okay. That's how it's meant to be. We're not meant to be alike. Do you get that? My life is not meant to be like your life, and your life is not to be like mine. I wonder why. Are you curious enough to ask the question, why are our lives so different? It's because we're unique. I go back and I go, okay, why am I unique? Well, I know I'm self-awareness because I'm aware of myself. I know I have a body. I know I have a personality. But why is that different than everybody else? And then you can go down the rabbit hole and say, well, what was I created out of? What was I created out of, and what created me? We start going down this deep, deep rabbit hole, which is really the study of spirituality. It's not the study of religion, because religion is all about dogma, rules. Spirituality is about the openness to explore life at the deepest of level. Curiosity is about being able to go down that thing and realize that we're not just this body. We're not just this mind. There's so much more to us. And then if we open ourselves up to the idea that there's so much more to us, then we ask the question, okay, why am I here? What am I here to do? Is there a purpose to my life, or is it something I create for myself? So many people I hear them say, God's got a plan for me. And I'm going to tell you, based on my curiosity and what I've discerned, there ain't no plan. Because that would be kismet or fate. There's no fate. There's freedom. That's something to be curious about. Are you really free? If you don't believe you're free, why don't you believe you're free? What's bound you? Because the boundaries that you have are all in your mind. They're all in how you perceive the life that you're living. You perceive the world around you. Because the fact of the matter is, in any moment, you are open to infinite number of choices. Infinite numbers of choices, yes. No question about that. But we forget that. We forget that there's infinite choices out there. And we think, well, there's one or two. It's right or wrong. Be curious. Why is one right or wrong? Why are some people choosing this and other people choosing that? And what makes them right or wrong? Who's the judge? Well, it can't be this thing called God or the infinite. Why? Because that's love. And what do we know about love? Love doesn't judge. Only humans judge. The ego judges. I don't know why. These are questions we just keep asking, and we go down this deep, 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 deep and beautiful rabbit hole. And what it is, it's a rabbit hole of self-discovery. Because there's so much more to us than we even understand and we even can imagine. But if we're not curious, oh my God, if we're not curious, how is it going to happen? I don't know. What do you think? What are you curious about out there? What are the things that when you're there sitting, you say, oh, I wonder about this. I wonder about that. Interesting. Right now, I've got this beautiful old yellow lab right next to me. You can see my arm moving. And she's in here just whining up a storm because she's not curious. She just wants to get her butt outside and lie on the cold pavement because I guess as she gets older, lying on that cold pavement makes her feel good. And I'm curious why that is, but I haven't done anything about researching that curiosity. But I do know like 5 or 6 times a day, she just wants to go outside. It's not to be in the sun, but it's to lie on the cold concrete, not on the grass. Not that there's much grass this time of year, but it's interesting. Easy says, death always makes me think and I'm curious. I'm curious about that too, Easy. I know I have my beliefs. I have my views. However, I don't know. And when we can say, I don't know, we open ourselves up to so much more. Josh says, I'm curious how my children view the world and how I can do the same. Well, just be curious. But you're not going to view it the way your kids do. We just don't know. We got human design, astrology, like ice for people. I don't understand that. Hips hurt. So Lori's curious about why her hips hurt. Julie, that's a really good point that cold helps inflammation. And and a pain. And here's the interest. Yeah, she's old. She's probably got arthritis. Look at that. My curiosity of asking that question gave me a lead to go down. Rev, I wonder what gifts I have that I'm unaware of. Sometimes people bring out new things. Yeah, Corey, we've got gifts that we don't even... So many gifts. But until we ask questions, how do we know we have those gifts? Oh, Lori says her hips hurt. When she said her hips hurt, she didn't mean her hips hurt. She meant the dog's hips hurt. I love that. See, I'm just curious about how do we misinterpret things? Well, because everyone's coming from a different perspective. Lori, go outside and put your hips on the cold cement if it hurts, because Julie says it helps. Oh, I love to laugh. Don't you just love to laugh? Curiosity says, how come we don't laugh more? Why is it? Why is it we take life so seriously? I'll tell you why. Because our parents drilled it out of us, followed by schools that drilled it out of us, followed by any organization that we're a part of drilled it out of us, because they don't want us to be curious. They want us to behave in a specific way. So they're conditioning us so that we become domesticated. That's right. We become domesticated. And if you don't think you're domesticated, I ask you to get curious about that, because there's going to be a lot of domestication. Corey, send me another. I didn't get it. I don't know why I didn't get it. I didn't get it. All this talk about Bailey getting cold on her body. Julie goes, well, now I'm icing my knee. Dog led her to a new way of being. And you know, that's one of the things that really worked for me when I had my hip replaced. Ice. Isn't it amazing how the universe gives us such interesting, simple things that can help us? Curiosity says, what will my life look like this time next year? I don't know. What do you want it to look like? There's a good question. Are you going to leave it to chance, or are you going to become a conscious creator? Yeah, she's just copying Wim Hof, of course. Wim is the master. Ice bath. I don't know that I've ever taken an ice bath. I've been a cold tub. I think the cold tub, the coldest the cold tub, I think it was like 63. Now, you may say 63 is not cold, but I want you to know it's cold against a 98.7 degree body. It's 30 degrees colder. Ice baths are healing. I agree. Crypto ball is good. I know what a Cairo ball, not a crypto ball. There I go, mispronouncing. I do that when I read my book for the audiobook. I see the word and I mispronounce it. Just so that some of you are deciding, well, when's that book coming out? Well, I got 3 more chapters to record. I think I'll record them on Monday. I think I'm scheduled to record them. Then I got to go through the editing of it. But we're getting closer all the time. So, a lot of great things that came out today. Praying for peace in the Ukraine, help Russia find. Yeah, don't ask for peace. Know there is peace in the Ukraine. Know that they find their peaceful solution. And it may not look like you think it should look. Let's just stop the bombing and the killing, the senseless killing. Let me ask this question. Isn't all killing senseless? And why have we become numb to it? I'm curious. Why are we so invested in Russia and the Ukraine, but we're not invested in what's going on in Africa? We're not invested in what's going on in Yemen. We're not invested in what's going on in Syria. Why is that? I'm curious. I'm very curious. What are we, possibly, being domesticated to believe? Here's my lesson that I want to leave you with today. As you're curious, be independent. Don't take sides. Be independent. You came into this world unique, and your job is to live this world as uniquely as you can. Just think about this. If you want to go deeper with me, I offer classes. My classes will start on March 28th, Monday afternoon or Monday evening, and that will be The Power in You based on my book, 7 Weeks. Also, I'm going to be teaching a class on Tuesday night, and that's on applying science of mind in the world today. If you're interested, go to agapespiritualcenter.com. Click on the calendar or classes and events. Join me for a class, I promise you. It'd be well worth your time and your money. With that, I got to go be curious. And I got to give you time to do it yourself. So go make it a great day, everyone. Until next time, I love you. Just like you are. Aloha.